Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Oh my gosh, it is time for another episode of Make Your Day Richer. Inger, they cannot stop clapping. Okay, good. They finally stopped.
No.
Everyone, I am here with Inger Kenobi. And I'm so excited you're here because I think you specialize in something that I am not great at, although you just told me I am. So I'm not sure. So welcome everyone, Inger Kenobi. Good morning. Although it's not morning there, is it?
No, it's afternoon. I'm calling in from the Cotswolds, UK. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So you are many things. First of all, an author, you run programs, and you help businesses with copy, which when you hear that, I always go like, well, what does that mean? So can you, first of all, how did you get into it?
Well, it's interesting because I started out kind of like as a general life coach, and then kind of like merging into more like businessy, entrepreneurial life coaching. And I kind of discovered that people had an insane amount of talent and expertise and personality and like joy for their work. But when they came to write about their work, it was like the personality went into a coma and it came all kind of robotic-y and samey, and which is why so many, especially life coaches, end up sounding exactly the same. It's like, so there was this like weird disconnect between how people showed up live and talking when they were talking about their work and then writing about their work. It was like night and day. And I'm like, well, this is weird. And this isn't doing anyone any favors.
Because I think people forget that they have personalities when it comes to then writing on their websites, right? Like people have some, and I'm included in that. Like the personality, and then you get on your website and you're like, it has to sound very professional because when a stranger is on here, they need to know that I'm taking this very seriously, right?
Very serious. I mean, we do take our work seriously, but it shouldn't be taken that seriously to the point where we turn people off because it's so boring or it's so flat or worse, incoherent, where you see this like rambling on and on and on. And you don't really understand what people are doing or what their work is for and what's the benefit of working with them. And, you know, I went on your website and it was super clear. Hire me for this, click here. Hire me for this, click here. This is what I do. Book a free consultation. And it was like crystal clear. It was like, that's like clear over clever. Because I also think sometimes that people are a little bit unsure and they're like in the eagerness to appear professional, they layer it with like a lot of words to hide the fact that they're not really sure if it's professional enough, instead of just like owning what they do. This is what you hire me for. Click here to book.
So what would be the reason, like if I, know my personality, I know what I do, why is it helpful for someone to hire you to help with that? Like, what are you helping them get to?
So it's more about like the vibe. So then it's like, so that there isn't this like, Jekyll and Hyde thing happening. Then when, people see them in person, I just basically want people's like in-person magic to translate onto the page so that people understand like, oh, you're the perfect person for me. And then I think people often are afraid of using like salty language or metaphors or their own. I mean, I say super a lot. So there's a lot of super in my copy because because you can't really repel your people by being more you. I feel like it's more magnetizing if you are like so much you that some people go like, ugh, hell no, or oh my God, yes, when can I hire you? It's better than that you're so vanilla that everyone overlooks you.
That's so true, because then they know what they're getting, right?
Yes.
If your website's completely opposite of who you are, and then you jump in a meeting to talk about it, they're going to be like, who is that person? Because that person does not go with that website.
Exactly. And I feel like, I always think that like, I think the easiest way for me to like, my passion for it is like, I want people's website to do the work justice.
Yeah. And showcase really what, not even necessarily like, well, what their business does, but also them as a person, right?
Yes, why should you hire me compared to that person? We all do so many different things. And I think one of the easiest ways to stand out is like, you don't have to come up with something crazy unique. Surprise, surprise. You just have to be yourself more.
Yeah. When people think about copy for their website, and is that everything on your website? Like, what is copy?
Yeah, copy is just words that you use to describe what you do. So it could be like super easy, like if you're a musician, like here's click here to go to my concert, or if you're an event planner, click here to book a consultation. Like it's just words that describe what you do. But oftentimes people don't really describe what they do. Like I did this workshop recently where I took a copy from like this generic bland website, and I asked like 10 people, do you understand what this work is about? Take a wild guess. No one could guess, because it was like, I help authentic women be more in integrity so they can live a better life. But it's like, better life how? Authentic how? To what end? What exactly? Mothers, people who are sick, newly divorced, people who want to do more creative work, like what exactly? And so I think also one of my things is like, people know their work so intimately, like they can't see the forest for the trees. So one of the things I help with is just take the vagueness out of it and get more specific. Like your website is very specific.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you're even saying that, because I just met with someone about my website because one, you probably noticed my show's not even on there. So this show, yeah. So it's very out of date, but that's shocking that it makes sense. So I'm happy about that. That makes me very happy.
And it's clear over clever. Sometimes too, we don't need a lot of fluff. It's just like one of the most beautiful, like, you know, like in newspapers, we talk about like above the fold, right? So the first banner you see on a website, like people should understand what you do there, like within 5 seconds. So I saw this woman saying like, I help newly widowed mothers love life again without having to read another damn grief book. That's very clear. We really understand who this work is for and what, and also a little bit about this person.
Yeah.
So it's an easy yes or no. Either this work is for you or it's not.
Yeah. Oh, I was just having a conversation this weekend about websites, and I think when you're making up, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, like when you're making up, you know, programs, when you're making up different tabs, and you want to get really creative with your titles, you know, so it like vibes with your vibe, and then sometimes I think it kind of goes over where you almost have over like cutesied it, and then a new person would not know what that tab even means, like what's behind it.
I think the only people, this is just my personal opinion, I don't know if this is the truth, but I feel like the only people who can get away with like over cutesying it and over like almost camouflaging what it is with like vague, like crazy titles that don't describe anything are like people who are already famous. I feel like Oprah or Elizabeth Gilbert, they could have an event called Gravel and I would still sign up because I love them so much. I don't need to know what it is. But if you're new or you want to reach a wider audience, we're not doing anyone any favors by calling it like, I don't know, it's just like some crazy name. But it's like, but what is it? Clear over clever.
What are your thoughts on the use of ChatGPT and how all of this AI stuff has come about and exploded over the last like year?
Okay, so I feel like ChatGPT could never ever capture anyone's personality. But if people want a starting point, like a shitty first draft, you could write in like, oh, an about me page, organized and then you could go in and be like, okay, how can I say it more like me? How can I weave in my slang? How can I bring up a real life example that ChatGPT wouldn't have like access to? And I think that for me as a writer and author, like I would never use it because I want to fire up my own creative like neural pathways in my brain. And so I don't want to like outsource that work to a computer. But I recently had to write a press release for my husband. I do not want to write press releases. So I was like, ChatGPT, put this in. And then, because then I spent 10 minutes on it instead of 2 days.
Yeah. What are some things that people can be looking at on their websites as kind of like a light bulb moment to be like, I should maybe be calling Inger?
Well, I would just look at the first banner. I think start there. Is it clear what you do or not? Because they can be like, hi, I am Inger and I love working with all women who, that's not very clear. It's very chatty and very cutesy, but it's like, if you want to write copy that sounds like you and speaks directly to your audience, I can help, copywriter, author. So I think just make like a bold statement first. And then you can go into more explainy, more whatever, and maybe answer some questions. But I sometimes describe it as, if you just went to a restaurant and it said food, or like we serve delicious organic food. Yeah, but what are the meals? What can I order? It's a little bit like that. So sometimes I think like if you translated your website into something like, I don't know, a hotel website or a travel agency or something that we're used to being more direct, then we would see how absurd, like it's kind of like, oh my God, this makes no sense. But we're too close to it sometimes. So I would worry less about sounding like hyper professional and more about, can people understand, like, who do I want to work with, and would they understand that I am their person? That's what I would really go for.
Yeah, I think, and that happens to me too. I think when you're so close to something, you kind of forget some of the details and some of the things that like seem so natural for you to do or talk about that you don't realize that other people can't read between the lines or just know that that's what you do.
But also it's like, and here's a trap I think a lot of people go into too. They go into like over explaining. So for instance, again, with life coaching, for instance, like, what is a life coach? What could it be used for? Blah, 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 blah. And I asked one of my clients, like, do you want clients who have never heard about life coaching? And she's like, no, of course not. I want people who are ready to go all in. They're eager to do this work. And I'm like, so why are you talking to people who are not your people? And she's like, oh my God. So she took it out.
That's so smart. So smart. You, what is the best way to contact you and start that process if people are looking for help with their websites and their copy?
So on my website, there is like a link to a free consult, IngerKenobi.com. And you book a free consult. It's half an hour. And it's always so fun to meet new people and learn what they're looking for and also learn if I can help them.
Okay, good. I'm not done with you yet because you have so much going on. You've got a book I want to talk about and an online program for artists. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Inger right after this.
Your body is whispering secrets to you about the life you're here to live. Decode the messages about the joy you're meant to experience despite, or maybe because of, the condition that upended everything you thought you knew. If you're ready to make magic and meaning of your one wild and precious life, learn more about coaching with Nona at nonajordan.com.
Now, I swear to you, we're back with Inger Kenobi, but I swear to you, Inger, that I had that commercial uploaded already before we had talked. And then before we went live, it turns out that Inger knows Nona, which is amazing to me.
Well, I think I know, I think of her as one of like my online friends, but I don't think she knows who I am because she was like one of the teachers or guest teachers or in that sphere of life coach teachers when I was studying at the Martha Beck Institute. So that was kind of fun to see her name and beautiful face pop up there.
Yes, we love Nona around here. I do a lot of work with her, so that was fun. Like, there's always that 6 degrees of separation, and sometimes it's like 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody about, because I love resources for artists and creative people. I think it's so important to tap into that side of you, no matter what you do in life. So tell everybody about Shine.
So Shine is this online artist program that I co-created with the amazing artist, Sarah Seidelman.
Yeah, she was also on this show.
There you go. Small world. She and I started running like writing classes together, like 4 months, 6 months, get your shitty first draft written type of thing. And then people, when it was over, people are like, oh, can we continue? Like the community is so important. I'm not done yet. Like, as we know, creativity doesn't stick to a strict schedule. So just because the program ended, people still wanted to be in this community. So after a few rounds of that, and people joined who are not writers, but they just wanted to be in a creative community. So then we started Shine, which is like a year-long, lifelong membership thing. You pay once, you're in for life. We meet once a week and we work on our art. We have open mics. We have like live studio sessions where we just sit and work together. And Sarah and I take turn or sometimes together, teach on things that are helpful to get, the creative juices going. And when you're in the messy middle, and just a way of like plugging in. It's like someone said, it's like they're home away from home, because regardless of what's happening in their like real life, they can always plug into Shine. And there's like this beautiful community of women who are like really like blowing our minds lately. Like, oh my God, over the last couple of years, what people have done, published books, sold paintings, written, like, it's like, I'm just blown away. I'm so impressed with this community. And everyone thinks they're like black talent. They don't know what they're doing. They all have talent. They all know what they're doing.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how that always happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where do people find Shine and how do they join?
Okay. So it's still my website, ingerkenobi.com/shine.
Okay, perfect. I can't believe that that's Sarah's part of that too. So interesting. Who else? We should go back in my show and be like, who do you know this person? How do you work with them? Do you know this person? How do you work with them? You also have a book available.
Yeah, I have two books.
Two books.
I have that one. Oh my God, that one is almost 10 years old now. I can't believe it.
Wow.
How Do I Look was a book project came about because a friend of mine challenged me to stop shopping for a year. And at the time I lived in London. I worked at the Norwegian embassy. I went to functions and things and events every week. And I thought it would be easy. And it was super hard. And actually by starting that book, the creativity kind of took over. So I resigned from that job, moved to the Cotswolds to finish the book. And 10 years later, I'm still here.
Wow.
So
and what's your other book
journey
that I don't have uploaded?
Yeah, and then I have this other book, which is only a Kindle version, but it's called Everything All the Time is Constantly Up to Me. And it's like a journal of an aspiring writer. It's kind of like Bridget Jones like version, like the author version of that. I mean, it's my words, it's not fiction, but it's a journal or a blog that I kept while trucking away at this book. So it follows that whole journey. And it's a really fun read because it just goes to show that when you start to take your creativity seriously, instead of just thinking about it, like, oh my God, your whole life can really change overnight.
That's exactly what happened to me this year. Yes.
Really? Tell me.
Yeah. I had a full-time job and I quit it and was like, you know what? I need to be doing what makes me happy and what brings me joy. And what I've known since I was 10 years old, what I wanted to do with my life, and did everything else but. And I was like, but why don't I just do that and see what happens? And it has been the best year of my life. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, like, yeah, my husband and I, we lived in London and we went to the Cotswolds on vacation and we're like, why don't we move to where we really want to live? Like that too. It's like, and it turned out we could. I don't know.
Yeah.
Overcomplicate things. This is one of the things we work on in Shine. Undercomplicate the process.
Yeah, I did that too. I moved. I just like in May we decided to move, sold the house, and by July we were in a different state in the new house. And it was like, and everyone said that too. How do you just do that? I don't know. I mean, we just did it. Like, you just do it and then you adapt and you figure it out. Yeah. It's
you figure it out along the way, right? Yeah. And congrats, by the way. That's a big move. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. And like you said, like uncomplicate it. We make it more complicated than it really is. You know,
in the brain, everything is complicated. When you do real life, you actually realize that you're a person who can figure out your own life along the way.
Yeah. I could talk to you all day, but I know you have to go. So I'm going to thank you so much for being here. I hope you come back and talk more about just anything, art, writing, all of it. come back
I would
anytime you want.
love to come back and talk about writing, but book writing, and especially, I'm really excited about memoir writing. That's like my real passion when it comes to writing.
What are you working on now?
I am working on a memoir from, I used to live at a Tibetan Buddhist center. I lived there for over 10 years. So I'm writing a memoir about the community aspect of that book. So it's not like a me as a spiritual person book, but it's more like the community aspect, the Sangha of, what that was like to live in that community for 10 years.
Well, please come back when that comes out.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This has been so fun.
Thank you for being here. IngerKenobi.com is her website. And this is Inger Kenobi, everyone. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
Oh, why are we here? There. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. This is why TV shows have crews of hundreds of people. We are back, everyone. This weekend, I went to the INKpreneurs Summit and spoke and met some amazing, amazing people. It was one of the best weekends of my entire life, both personally and professionally. So I want to thank Ella Clark for inviting me. Everyone I met there, you saw Jacqueline on Friday's show. We have more guests coming. We've pre-recorded some stuff. People are going to be coming live to the show. It was a really, really fun weekend. And they've announced the dates for next year, which will be the weekend after the 1st, November 9th and 10th, I believe, of 2025. Go to INKpreneurSummit.com. I don't know if the tickets are up there yet. I'm going to guess not. But please join us next year. It was great. All the speakers. It just was a wonderful weekend of connection with people in the creative world. And I am still exhausted, but still so energized from it. It was so fun. All right, what else do I have to show you and tell you about today? We're at 67,000 views and downloads of this show. So thank you, everyone who watches, who listens, who shares, who supports this show in any way you do. I appreciate it so much. I get to talk to amazing people like Inger every day, and it's all because you keep watching. So thank you so much. All right. There's a new episode of Before You Go, which is a podcast that I help produce and edit. There's a bonus episode this week, but I didn't get to talk about last week's episode. So they're all available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. And here's a clip. It's called Before You Go.
We invite our students to do hands-on training with people who are at the end of life. So our guests at Abode, they really get the benefit of working with our students and experiencing some of these yogic tools. And then the students get an opportunity to be around someone who is close to death. Because I'm telling you, Mary, without that, it can be quite daunting to start this work. You know, it's all well and good to do a training, to get a certification. But if you're scared to use it because you've never been around someone at the end of life, it's challenging. So I love that about Abode, and what you and I have created in this program is that people really get the chance to work with someone at the end of life. And that, I think, is worth its weight in gold.
Before You Go, the podcast available wherever you get podcasts. We're finishing up season 1. Season 2 will start in January, hopefully, and you should go check that out. It's an amazing podcast. Okay. Also, if you want to advertise on the show, because we have commercial spots, go to makeyourdayricher.com/advertising, fill out the form, and join the party. And we'll get you all hooked up, and you can become an advertiser here on the show. All righty. We have no show tomorrow, just warning you. I know it's a very sad day for those of you who watch every day. No show tomorrow, gives you time to go vote. And make sure you go vote. I did last week, the week before, last week. I don't know, every day is the same, but I did vote. The sticker is somewhere back here, but I voted, I promise. I am actually leaving after this to go travel a few hours. We've got a little family health thing happening. We've got some a breast cancer surgery tomorrow. So if you've got some prayers, if you've got some love, send it our way. That is happening tomorrow. And I just want to say thank you to the Pink Ribbon Gals. Here, they are in Indian land, and they have this thing is so heavy, and it is full of amazing things that they give out for free to people who are just diagnosed with breast cancer. There's coloring books in here, special pillows, socks, a lot of great information, water bottles, amazing stuff. And when I talked to them, they were like, it's so hard to promote, and people don't know that we're here. So go check them out, all right? Pink Ribbon Gals in Indian land, and you'll get a wonderful care package, and support them if you can. All right, that's what I'm going to do. We'll be back on Wednesday. Yes, back on Wednesday. Pre-recorded show on Wednesday with Andrea Caprio, which we're going to be talking about emotional eating around the holidays, especially. You know, your family's coming around. There's a lot of stress. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we'll be back live on Thursday. I love you all so much for watching this show and supporting this. Go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. And you've made mine richer by watching the show. I love you for it. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye, everyone.